Really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
So out come the Rams now for their first possession. Under center will be the Southern California native standing at 6'4", Sam Darnold.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. Darnold on first down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short. I mean, more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. But doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And they bring him to the ground just...
Maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Johnson with a first down and more. And down to the 19-yard line. They were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. On second down, Johnson. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And the Rams are going to have a 1st and goal forthcoming as he takes this down to about the 5-yard line. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put...
And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Rams take it right down and score on the opening drive. Picking up where they left off before the open week that they had last week as they won going into that. And no signs of being stale.
No, and that's really big for them because there's a trust factor that goes into this. Because what often happens, if you win the game before your open week, you usually get more time off. But if you win the game before the open week, get more time off, and don't play well the next time out, that goes away. So they're making a statement that they like that time off.
So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. On first down, Wakefield. That's complete to John Ross. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
To John Ross.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
Buccaneer first down.
Operating from the gun, Wakefield. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
No gain on the play. Brings up third down.
To throw on third down, Wakefield. And that's caught by Smith. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
A very early momentum changer there. Actually a dream killer for the defense, because they forced a third down. Felt like they had a good chance to get off the field defensively, and then they got hit with that big play.
Out of bounds at the 20.
Sensational he was last week, over 200 yards. And the simple quote that we saw this week was, keep him in front of us. They're going to have to do that.
And when they say that, it means tackling him after the catch. Because once he makes the catch, you may catch it in front. But if you don't tackle him, he's behind you at that point, and that's how he racks up the big yardage.
7 yards there and a first down.
Tampa Bay.
Fournette, a first down carry. And he'll be taken down, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Buccaneers, nothing.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. From the gun, Wakefield. That's out to his running back, Fournette. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Leonard Fournette, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point, because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And it'll be a touchback, as Tyler Lockett says, I'm not going to return this one. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their 2nd drive of the game. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kissed it on the ground.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he's able to get up here to the 26.
To carry on Johnson.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, short tackle.
And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is, because he understands how to get open in key situations.
To the sideline and incomplete.
First down, that leads to a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds, because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 31-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10, down at the 31. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 19. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Kerryon Johnson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Rams have taken the lead. Great call to hand that one off, and his running back did the rest.
Someone read their keys correctly, and on the defensive side of the ball, they certainly did not because they really essentially were just going to swarm the quarterback. They kind of guessed themselves out of the play, and guess who benefited? The guy with the football.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Their own 26. Yard line.
Tampa Bay. getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
On 1st and 10, Wakefield. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
The pass.
Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Now Leonard Fournette. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
He was brought down at the
We've hit the 2-minute mark in the second quarter. 14-7.
And it's 3rd down.
Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
That'll go as a pickup of 8.
Really? Really? Did we just see that? That's a big catch. One-handed, I might add, to pick up a 1st down.
I was going to say, on 3rd down for the defense, it's one thing to give up a reception. You just got to shake your head on a one-handed catch to pick up the 1st.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down. Operating from the gun, Wakefield. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 at the 20.
A shotgun give to Fournette. And a short gain here, down to the 22.
Leonard Fournette.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the 1st on 3rd. That's to his running back, Leonard Fournette. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. He hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown.
Tampa Bay.
John Ross with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
For the extra point.
CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And it'll be a touchback as Tyler Lockett says, I'm not going to return this one.
25 yards.
Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes. Steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too? Because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better than that, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield. Maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's established establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time, but it's going to be second down. A shotgun snap for Darnold. And he comes back with one complete. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. A first down throw, Darnold. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Darnold trying to hustle everybody along with the clock moving. And this will take it in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Darnold from the gun. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Intended for number 80. Incomplete. It's fourth down.
Likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on fourth down. The final shot before the break, Darnold. It's incomplete. So we hit halftime all even at 14 apiece. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the league here in the unofficial midway point, Week 8 of the NFL season. We'll start out west at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. And it is the Jets who have the lead in the second quarter. Cooper Kupp, a touchdown reception. Next, we'll head over to check on the Giants at home at MetLife Stadium. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Denver Broncos. 24-16 was how that one finished. Finally, let's get down to Houston. Check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Indianapolis Colts. 31-28, the final score. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense.